Ricky Valera, FandomWire. How y'all doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Excited to chat about this film. Melissa, first to you. I think Caroline Lindy's script is like perfection. There's layers of Laura that are so carefully calculated. What was your initial thoughts upon reading the script?
I loved it. I couldn't believe that this movie existed. You know, as a horror lover, rom-com enthusiast, and musical theater nerd, I was like, I can't believe that someone made this movie and I didn't, and I was just happy that it landed on my inbox and that I got the opportunity to meet with her about it and do it, because it was a dream role, literally.
Yeah, Tommy, you kind of step feet back into the monster here, obviously, as you were in the short film. But I think it's what's the specific charm of the monster, whether it's the body language, the facial expressions that kind of make him lovable and even relatable, right? How did you find a way to capture all of this even inside this quote unquote monster?
It's a great question. The prosthetic works so incredibly well. This is top of the line hardware we're dealing with here. So any kind of movement in my face matches the move. I mean, there was the most accurate 3D rendering of my mug that you could imagine, and the mask was designed on top of that. So that was a relief, knowing that I could express something and the camera would see it, the monster. And then it just became Melissa and I got along really well day one, and whatever comes across is just me playing that character, trying to charm her or heal her or make her laugh. And so it's interesting to play a character like this with no real backstory. You could argue either side of that, but really this character exists in service of Laura. So how can he help her today, or work on her, or take the edge off, or employ some tough love to get her out the door. This lady makes that job easy.
Yeah, it looks like you guys had the time of your lives in the film. So, and it comes across on the screen as well. Melissa, Laura has this transformative arc within each act, not just throughout the whole entire film, but within each act. What's something maybe you took away or learned from this character to maybe add to Melissa the person?
That's a really good question. I feel like if we're talking about like what I learned as Melissa, I think this movie taught me a lot about the places I can go that I never allow myself to. I'll tell you like a quick story. Day one, we're shooting the scene where I wake up on the couch and he's sitting in the corner, and I realize that I didn't dream this, that he's actually there in my house. And so that was the first scene that we shot. And I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea what the tone of the movie was. So I was playing it like very like real and small, and like I would Melissa do it. And Caroline kept pushing me to go more and louder and to cry bigger. And I was like, but I feel like, is it gonna feel fake? Like, is it gonna like ruin it? I was so scared. And she kept telling me, like, trust me, go more. I want more. And I will pull you back if it's too much. And so I finally like found the scene, and it's the scene that ended up in the movie, but I never would have gone there by myself. And so that's, I think, what directors are for, which I think not a lot of directors do in reality in this industry. Not every director is an actor's director, and Caroline is. And so she really helped me to find Laura in that scene. And after that scene, I was like, I know the movie that we're making now, you know? But if Caroline had been a less hands-on director, the tone of the movie would be completely different and probably not work and probably not be as funny, because she knew what she wanted and she helped me. She pushed my buttons to get to that performance. And so after doing this movie, I realized that I can do a lot more than I thought that I could, or that I can allow myself to go to places that I never would have thought that I would go to. So, I learned a lot about myself in the process.
Well, I think you nailed what's so great about Caroline is that like she's a real student of cinema. And that requires you to heighten things, to put a little bit of a sort of stylistic varnish on it. There's a grandiosity to this thing, but it's also got to be able to make you cry and laugh. I mean, these Laura and Monster never become untethered from their human side, which is weird to say about a monster. And like, that's sort of the, and I use cinema in the most classic terms. And I wish we made more movies like this that has that big sweep and scale to it. And I should say, Caroline and I met on a TV show in which she was guest starring. She's a very good actor herself. And maybe one reason she finds it easier to communicate with us is because she's got chops. She might hate me for telling you that, but she's a serious director now, but she's a great actor too.
Guys, thank you so much. I love the film. Thank you guys for your time today.
Thank you
so much. Great.